Lando Norris got pretty blunt, Carlos Sainz expressed some frustrations, and Ollie Behrman got kind of realistic. Here is part one of the interesting things that we learned from the Spanish F1 drivers' press conference. Starting with Behrman, he said that it's a little difficult to work out how the car's going to react because sometimes they think it's going to do really well and then it doesn't, or vice versa. Nevertheless, going into Barcelona, it will be great for them to see how the Imola upgrades are going to work on a circuit that's different to, well, Imola. And lastly for him, all drivers were asked about Monaco, and he was kind of like, well, if we're being realistic here, Monaco was never really known for the number of overtakes it had. Moving on to Sainz, I wouldn't say he was feeling particularly optimistic, but he was definitely hopeful for Barcelona. Essentially, for the FW47, he feels like this is the most challenging circuit that they faced since China. And that's partially because it doesn't really like medium speed and long corners. And so whilst he believes they can make it into Q3, he also thinks that P9 or P10 might count as a great result for them. Looking towards the impact of the new technical directive, he doesn't think it's going to have as much impact as other people have said it might. Maybe it could be about a 10th for a team. But then it was pointed out to him that a 10th could actually be about 4 places on the grid. To which he agreed and said, yeah, actually you could see that, especially in the midfield. Finally, in his response to what happened in Monaco, he said that Formula 1, the FIA and F1 drivers all need to sit down together to come up with some solutions. And because of the position and the experience that F1 drivers have, they need to be involved in these conversations when coming up with solutions rather than trying to take a kind of top-down approach. But ultimately, he is open to ideas for the race because he has never been so disappointed getting out of a car. He thinks that is the slowest he has gone in F1. And that leaves Norris. As expected, the Monaco win was really special to him because he said that Monaco is the win. And that's because of the history and the demands of Monaco. But in his opinion, Monaco has never been a good Sunday and it probably never will be. It is what it is. However, because there is so much focus on the Saturday, perhaps they could do a one-lap shootout. But then he got asked about what his struggles have been this year. He said it's pretty obvious and fairly simple. He has made his struggles quite clear. It's his quali that's up and down this year. Then he was asked about whether he could give some insight into what he's doing to improve himself when it comes to qualifying, and he outright just said no. And then came the question that, to be fair, even I was a little surprised that he was asked because he has made it so obvious that he does not like it. Essentially, he was asked about how he's feeling in regards to the fact that if he wins this weekend, he will be able to take back the championship. So Norris said, you ask me this every week and I give the same answer. And to be fair, his answer was pretty much the same as what he says every week, so I think you already know what he's going to have said. But there was one line that made me laugh, so I am going to say it. Mathematically, anyone on the grid right now could win the championship, so if you think it's between just me and Oscar, you're a little bit silly.